Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all my friends all over the world. So, welcome you to Ruby channel tonight in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And yes, today I will share with you the topic of listen to your subconscious. I just wonder that have you ever listened to your subconscious? If yes, so now you already have experience. But if not, so now please listen to this chapter. I would like to read it because this is one of the chapter I like in the book of Master Your Growth. Yeah, listen to your subconscious. Every emotion contains a message. Be respectful and listen to them. Emotions are always present in every human being. Many people may think of indifference as being emotionless, but it is still a state of emotion. We experience feelings of joy, sadness, anger, worry, fear, and suffer it from its impact on our lives. A simple example of this is when we are unhappy. We are not productive at all, but this proves that emotions are attached to our life. Do you think emotions will affect your success? If the answer is yes, then you are thinking the same thing as me. For me, emotion is one of the most important factors in the criteria for success. Listening and regulating emotions is the crux of the matter. Let me talk about what I found from an emotional master. I just wonder, have you are seeing me on my live stream here? Let me check it out first. So while I'm checking it out, so just please, watch this. Đối với tôi, 10 năm là một chặng đường đầy sắc màu sống động. Vừa thách thức, bắt tôi phải trải nghiệm để thay đổi từ tư duy tâm hồn đến diện mạo. Vừa rạng rỡ tỏa ngát hương thơm cho mỗi lần, tôi khám phá ra những điều tuyệt vời xung quanh mình. Khoảnh khắc khởi nghiệp không đơn giản, và chuyển mình sau hơn 10 năm học hỏi từ những ông khổng lồ. Những bỡ ngỡ ban đầu khi bước chân vào các hiệp hội doanh nghiệp. Tôi như đứa trẻ, luôn tò mò và đầy khát vọng cống hiến. Để rồi giờ đây, tôi đã nhận được những hạt nở từ việc gieo hạt chân thành và học hỏi. Những ngày tháng bôn ba, các nước khắp Nam Châu với tâm thế độc chiến. Tôi luôn nhớ câu nói của thầy Leroy, cứ làm đi, chính là động lực để tôi tiếp tục hành trình của mình. Hành trình chinh phục bản thân và cân bằng với những lúc đời thử thách, và khát khao được đem tinh túy của thế giới đến với người Việt. Khoảnh khắc tham gia các khóa học CEO, Leadership, NLP, POE chính là nền tảng để tôi hoàn thiện bản thân mỗi ngày. Ngày hôm nay tốt hơn ngày hôm qua, và ngày mai với những kiến thức và trải nghiệm của ngày hôm nay, tôi sẽ hoàn thiện bản thân mình tốt hơn nữa. Và còn nhiều nữa qua từng giai đoạn. Tất cả tạo nên một Ruby Ngọc của ngày hôm nay. Tôi tin rằng Ngọc không mài không sáng. Người không học không nên. Tầm sư học lớn là một sự đúc kết hành trình học hỏi và trải nghiệm của tôi, giúp tôi tách mình ra khỏi bộn bề cuộc sống, theo đuổi ước mơ và sống cuộc đời thật ý nghĩa. Hơn thế, tầm sư học lớn còn có giá trị di sản, giúp cho các bạn sẽ tự tìm thấy cách thức để kiến tạo nên cuộc sống hoàn hảo của riêng mình, để nâng bản thân từ tốt đến vĩ đại. Hello, I'm back. Thank you. I already see 3 of you here together with me. So I would like to start again this chapter. So I will share this story. The story will begin with Trice facing death. John is at the age of 16 in a shock at rejection of a girl's love. John committed suicide. After the unsuccessful attempt to kill himself, along with the influence of the family circumstances and many challenges in life, John fell into depression. Once, John had heart attack, but no one knew. It was only when he woke up on his own and was taken to the hospital that he was told by the doctor that if he didn't wake up on his own, he would surely die. Having experienced true missing, John learned to meditate, overcame depression, and became a master of emotion. The control and release of emotions made John accumulate a lot of experience. Besides, John's meditation method was also improved and effective. In addition, John also used hypnosis to cure negative emotional expressions. I was hypnotized by John because there was no much negative energy in me, and I started to release and realize the value of listening to my own feeling. So, getting a dose of emotional medicine is the right thing to do. It is not a tangible excipient, but an emotional state that needs to be controlled and released. We wonder why we are sad, angry, scolding, annoying, and angry, etc. Its cause may be known, but whether we can solve it or not is the problem. Negative emotions are a state in which people fall into unpleasant feelings for themselves, greatly affecting work and personal life. There are some negative emotions, such as sadness, anger, boredom, disappointed, inhibition, doubt. All of them form a dance that shakes people's intuition. There are cases that happen just because of uncontrollable negative emotions. There are contradictions in the innermost human being that makes life always tiring and boring. Managing the negative emotions is not an easy task, but there are ways to narrow their influence. If you are sad about something, set a limit for sadness. For example, you broke up with your lover. You are sad, and you think that sadness will last until the end. So, we need to ask how long we should be sad. Is it 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years? Then we will think, why am I wasting my time being so sad? The solution is to reduce our sadness and dissolve it within the time limit that we set. If I have a friend who is currently depressed, before she was a person who always suspicious of everything, even when treated well. She thought they were up to something. So, for me, depression is scary consequence of negative emotion. It is a great barrier in human thought and action. Therefore, it is necessary to learn to listen to emotions and understand what they need. Emotions soul message. Emotions are formed from the people itself and carried in its value. Like any emotion, it gives us something that makes us feel stable. Don't think negative emotions are bad. When a loved one dies, we can't help but be sad, right? We have the right to be sad and live with emotions. We may cry, weep, and be in pain, but remember not to harm your health. Expression emotions helps you relieve pressure, helps others understand what we need rather than hiding everything. Every emotion is a message. Don't let it become too much to become a depression. We should not be indifferent, leaving them unresolved. Face it and live with your feeling. Realizing the value of emotions is not an easy task. Listen to what we have to say inside. I used to be a negative emotional state. It manifests on outside of my body so much that John could see them turning into arrows whizzing toward him. By hypnotizing and awakening my subconscious, I see where my negative emotions are coming from. Your subconscious mind becomes an effective link when you think about the cause of negative emotions. Our bodies have the mechanism. Many emotions can be ignored the moment it happens, but soon you are affected. I'm sure all of us have experienced that a sudden feeling of sadness and discomfort, but for no reason at all. In fact, that have occurred What we need to do is put together the things that we have inadvertently forgotten. At this point, finding the cause of the negative emotion is essential. It makes dealing with the current emotion expression clear. John told me about a man who had a heart condition and was fortunate enough to have a heart transplant. But after that surgery, he always had a line of number in his head. When he went to the doctor's, the donor's house, he learned that the brain death from the accident prevented the organ donor from giving the safe code to his child. It was a miracle that the sequence of number that he gave opened the safe. This made me think a lot about the human subconscious. It's not in the brain. Anything that's controlled by the brain can store them. Listening to intuition can be understood as listening to your intuition in your sixth sense. Premonitions and working with our analysis and reasoning give us the feeling that it is right to know in advance what we need to do. Each person's intuition is different, but they always carry an intangible value that many times we cannot explain. How we can do so? Intuition helps find solution 90% of the time. So, sometimes you want to know what you need when you are confused. Try to listen to what it has to say. Emotions are an aspect of the soul. To listen to what they have to say, we need to be a person with that. These aspects of emotions and how they affect us are only fully understood by us. The fact that outsiders look at our performance is only a rough estimate. The root of emotions comes from within. Therefore, regulating and listening to emotions is a complex process of human consciousness. I was fortunate to meet John and hear about the 5A process. You can call it a state transition, awareness, accept, allow, action, and admit. For example, when we are sad, the first thing we have to release is that I am sad. Accept, frankly face that sadness. Next is to follow yourself to deal with it by finding a way to relieve your sadness. For example, going to a coffee with friends, but thinking is not enough. We turn thoughts into action. And finally, we acknowledge the value of what we do with sadness. Or in other words, we created happiness for ourselves. Hello, Bích Hòa. The special feature of his process is that it can be applied to all fields. For example, I am looking for a job. First of all, I have to release that I need a job. Then, I accept to apply for a job. When I am hired, I will allow myself to work. I do it by working. Finally, I admit that I have a job just by asking friends to eat or simply a status of social networks. Hello Thiên Nhật. Thank you Bích Hòa. Simple but so fun. It is really simple and useful for each of us to apply listening and transforming our own emotions. Listen to your feelings. There are rich people holding several thousands, billion stones, but they feel unhappy with their success because a rather important emotion issue was ignored by them. It is to celebrate victory. Their sense of joy and happiness were lost. They think that they are good enough, not great enough. They think they can do it for sure and that victory is not a victory. It's the natural for a good person to get 10 points. It's natural that I'm good at making money, so I'm rich. The lesson is not to ignore the feeling in yourself. When we do something, it's always important. It may be a small thing to me, but to others, it is great. Emotions dominate life a lot and affect the level of success, leaving people with no limits to contentment. It is like a double-edged sword, bringing people to the top of a mountain. If the next step is when you go down, take control of your emotion and listen to them. Listening to emotions is a deep aspect of being human, but it is the key to success. Emotions influence our actions and thoughts a lot. Experiencing negative emotions is inevitable. We need to listen and control emotions as this makes us active in life. Hello, Hoài Nam. Everyone has intuition and subconscious mind. We all have intuitions, experience, and receptive information. The voice of intuition will guide us in the right direction to what we need. Listening to the message of emotions and intuition will open a path to success. Hello, Triệu Thảo. Another important thing is to acknowledge our success, which is our motivation and also how we listen to our own feelings. The subconscious mind is guiding force of our entire life. Yes, I just finished reading the chapter of listening to your subconscious. Thank you for your listening. And if you have any questions, so please go ahead. Otherwise, in the next 60 seconds, I will close this live stream and I would like to do another one in Vietnamese. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your being here and listen to my story of listening to the subconscious. And I think that it will help you to understand more about yourself. Thank you for your listening. Bye for now.